let's see if it's still as hot next October, because I feel like this streak just never will end. And we have, because of our long streak of not only the heat, but very dry weather, we are under now a higher drought than we tend to see in southeast Louisiana. The levels are for a severe drought across the metro area, down the bayou parishes and the river parishes. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we have not seen much rain. And the expectation is we're not going to see a whole lot of rain. The outlook through October 31st is for the drought conditions to actually worsen on the North Shore, where at the moment they're just under abnormally dry conditions, not officially a drought, and the drought will likely persist through August, September, and October. So it doesn't look like, at least based on the climate models, that we are going to see much in the way of rain. Doesn't mean we don't see any rainfall. It just means we probably don't really add to our massive deficit of over almost 20.5 inches of rain since the start of the year. We don't want to see this kind of get back to normal with a big surge of tropical moisture, but it'd be nice to get some rainfall, if nothing else in the short term, to get rid of the heat. Another excessive heat warning will be in effect tomorrow, and that extends for much of the central part of the nation, all underneath the upper high. But this pattern will begin to change. The upper high starts shifting out to the west. Upper troughing begins digging in early next week, and that starts bringing in chances for some rain. The problem is most of the model guidance is trending to keep most of the rainfall to our north. So the precipitation outlook for the next 6 to 10 days is calling for most of our rain chances to stay to our north, and that's basically what the GFS model is saying as well. Perhaps a few stray showers around southeast Louisiana at about 20 to 30% going into early next week, with most of the rainfall to our north. And the precipitation total forecast for the next 7 days, notice it is primarily to our north and east, with the totals here nothing more than maybe a trace of rain. So doesn't look like we're really going to see any rain, even with a change in our pattern. And again, if the climate outlooks are to be believed, we're not going to really see much in the next 3 months either. We did actually hit a record today, 98. I thought the record was 100 degrees today. It was actually 97. So easily topped that this afternoon, and we did hit 100 degrees in Baton Rouge. And the problem is we stay in the 90s for most of the day. We were already in the lower 90s before noon, and we stayed there for a long duration. At the moment, 97 degrees. That's old record, 74 degree dew point, so it feels like 108. So believe it or not, the humidity levels are not high enough to send the heat indices into the levels that would require an excessive heat warning. That is likely, though, for the day tomorrow. Today it's been just a heat advisory. I say just, like that's not a big deal. Upper 90s, again, a few isolated spots could be at triple digits. That'll be really with us through the weekend. Upper high starts breaking down, few spotty showers, high temperatures more mid 90 range into next week.
All right, thank you, Chris. Guess what?